What is up, guys? It's your boy Paul coming at you with another video today. Look, it is the nighttime. It is 10:20 my time. My full day has passed by, and it's Monday, which means it's a good day. I was able to plan the week out last night, and I just got excited about all of what is in store for me this week and what I was able to accomplish last week. It is crazy, and I'm going to do a video on this in the future. But it is crazy what happens when you change up the environment and you optimize it for working and you specify a location for one thing. I'll make a video on this, but essentially it's specifying each object for only one thing and each area for only one thing. That way when your brain goes there, you're thinking there already. Anyways, that is not the topic of today's video. Look, the topic of today's video is how do you spend your time / like how to spend your time. And you know, it's funny being in the stage of life where I'm at right now. It is quite, I don't want to say amusing because that's kind of like rude, but it is quite interesting to me how the majority of 19 to 22 year olds, you know, somewhere in that range, even like a little bit after, are spending their time. It is almost as if, and I hope this wouldn't be the case, but it is almost as if they're not even thinking about, you know, 5 years down the road. It just doesn't seem like that, because when I think about our culture, American culture, the sole objective is self and having fun and whatever self determines, right? And I don't know. It confuses me mainly because I don't see any productivity going on even within the school system. Like even within the people who are doing well in school, it's just like they're just doing it. Like I don't know. That's a side rant. That's not the topic of today. How do you spend your time? Optimize for your goals, right? That's why I got on that tangent, because it seemed like there was no goals, thus people spend their time however. But, so this topic has come up to me before. People have made comments to me before. Paul, it doesn't seem like you go out much. You know, Paul, have a little fun in your life. You know, Paul, come out with us. Come on. Paul, why do you read so much? You know, I just hear things all the time, right? So I'll tell you how I optimize, and then we can go into yours. So how I optimize, the premise of how you optimize your time needs to be based around what are you trying to get out of life? Like that is literally it, because no one can tell you, you can't even tell you how to optimize your time if you don't know what you're trying to do. Like, even when it comes to being a doctor, are you really going to actually study for 12 hours a day? No. Like, no, you're not. Like, that's not a thing. You're not going to be studying in the material 12 hours a day. You may be around doctor type stuff, you know, for around 12 hours. I could see that, but you're not actually going to be in the books for 12 hours a day, right? And so for me, I have, like I've said multiple times on this channel before, I have multiple areas of life that I seek to be good at, right? Seek to enhance, right? So it's first my spiritual life. Like that comes first and foremost every single day, hands down. And so I have formed things in my life and made certain habits to where I can optimize for that. So for example, I'll give you a couple. First thing when I wake up, I'm in the shower to help wake me up, boom, get dressed, and then I don't even go outside to the kitchen or, you know, out here or anything until I have spent time in the Word. That is first and foremost that what I'm doing is spending time in the Word, praying, doing my thing. It is then once I've done that, then I now say, okay, I can do, whatever activities I have planned for today. Then when I come out here, I do a few things. Before I go into any other work or eat anything, I do a few things. First is I'm trying to get more flexible and everything as far as like right now. Like that's one of my goals, be more flexible. I'm already pretty flexible, but so each morning I'm doing two things at once. I am doing my affirmations, right? I have it on my voice memo on the phone. And so I listen to that and I'm saying it to myself as I'm stretching, which is not a activity that double occupies my brain. Like it's literally, okay, I'm bending over, whatever, I'm leaning to the right, leaning to, like it's not, something that I have to think about a lot, which is why that works for the affirmations. Because if you do affirmations, you want to be able to focus on them. Like you want to actually be able to picture them and not just have them as noise. Like these are critical because you will have doubts all the time. So, then I do that, okay? Then I will get into a little bit of mindset training, whatever, that is for the day. Get into like a little bit of mindset stuff. I may read for 20 or 30 minutes, which is not my normal reading time, but I do it just because I like putting ideas in my head kind of before I get going. Most of the time I skip breakfast. Most days, I would say 4 to 5 days out of the week. Occasional week would be 3, but 4 to 5, I'm not eating until 12 or 2 p.m. The way I like to do it is, well, let me continue in the schedule. I will then work for the given amount of time. I try and create videos around 11 a.m. That way I can release them like around noon time or, kind of whenever. But my parents came by today, which is why I'm doing this video now because everything got pushed back. So then that comes, and then I try and have my workout at 12. I'm big on working out at noon because that's when it feels best to me. Also, it provides a fasted workout, and it also provides me a lot of energy for the later half because I tend to wake up pretty awake and pretty intellectually cued, and so that really gets my blood flowing. And so I work out fasted, and then when I come back, that's when I allow myself to break the fast. So I eat for the first time. And while I'm eating, I tend to watch a sermon, okay? And that's kind of like, some more absorption there. And, I may do a training, meaning like I may watch a video or two on how to better execute something in my business or, learn how to do something. I may do that after I have eaten too, 30 to 45 minutes of that. And then once I'm done with that, we're around the 2 to 3 range, somewhere in there. And according to our, I think it's our circadian rhythm, that's our clock and everything, but it also determines like when we're fully awake and fully asleep and everything like that. Well, 3 is the time like we reach like a low point. And so depending on how I'm feeling, here's what happens for me. I optimize the way Hispanic culture does it. So I like working in the morning, big break in the middle of the day if I want to see people, because that's what you can use, lunchtime for too, and working out, all that stuff, talking to people, whatever, mentorship, whatever you want to do. And then I reach that dip because a couple things happen. One, circadian rhythm's down. 2, I just ate all the food, and so blood didn't go from here. It went to here. It went to my stomach, and so a lot of that affects your like how much you're on point. And so what happens if I'm feeling a little sluggish? I will literally allow myself a 10 to 15 minute nap. Makes all the difference in the world. And then 3 to 8 or 3 to 9, I work again. And that works phenomenally for me. And I love doing it like that because then, I may eat something while I'm, working or something like that. But after I do that, I get, the day's work done, work till 9 or so, plan, read, and then go to bed around 11, 12, somewhere in that range, and do it all again. And so I optimize for spiritual stuff, for physical, and for work, and intellectual is in there too. Like for example, I will, in the noon time, allow myself to work on a personal skill. And so one of those things that I'm taking up is, cursive. And so I'm trying to get like really, really good on that as well. May seem like a useless skill, especially living in the era that we are now, but it's something that I want to do, and so I'm doing it. I give myself 20 minutes a day to do that. I bought, a book on it. It has like a little workbook, and that allows for that. And then I give myself some, reading at night and everything like that. But that's how I optimize. And I could go into even more depth on my schedule, but I won't, simply because I'm not going to spend 30 minutes. Like, I could actually talk about why my schedule is the way it is for probably about 30 minutes if I were to go in specific detail. But here's the thing. You got to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it well. And here's the other thing, and I'm definitely going to make a video about this. Until your work and your learning becomes something that you actually love, you're not going to do it a lot. You're not going to do it a lot. Here's the thing. In the beginning, too, so many things take absurd amount of upfront effort that it kind of is just not fun, right? And so when you can match what your work is and what you're learning in your personal life, or even learning in business life, to equal fun for you. Remember how I said in the other video, your brain works on dopamine? Look, you don't get tired of that. You won't be like, oh, I want a break of this because I'm bored. No, like if it's something that you love working on, you're going to keep working. If you love working out, you're going to keep working out. If you love, reading, you're going to keep reading if the time is allotted. And so that's something that I've done as well, because there's a lot of things that aren't fun, right? There's a lot of things that are kind of boring. There's a lot of things that, there's a lot of things that I do that most of my friends would not think is fun. Period, point blank, that is true. It's also, we have different, goals and dreams. And so I've aligned myself and the way that I work to line up with what I'm trying to do. So I hope through saying my schedule, a little bit about why I do what I do. Like I said, I could go on for a while about this. I mean, it's already been 12 minutes, but optimize for whatever your goals are in each area of your life. Okay? Figure out what's most important to you. Figure that out first. Say, all right, how much time am I going to spend on it? Because you got 168 hours in a week. You sleep 7 to 8 hours, 7 to 8, not 78, for those of you who probably thought I just said 78. You sleep 7 to 8, hours a night. Maybe some of you is 6. So anyways, that's 42 to 56 hours. So subtract that from 168. That's your time left of what you got in the week. How are you going to spend that time? Is social life really important to you? How much time are you going to allot to hanging out with friends? Maybe it is really important to you, but your business goals are more important. So what you're going to do is bring people on board for what you're doing. That way you can spend time with them and execute the business. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Maybe working out's really important to you. Maybe alone time is really important to you. Maybe reading's really important to you. Okay, great. Are you the type of person that needs to work out alone, or do you need a partner? Are you the type of person that needs that motivation, or is even trying to mentor people, but you don't have time in your schedule? Great. Bring them to work out with you. The only condition that you have for them, if they want time with you, they're coming to work out with you. Oh, no, I don't want to force them to do that. Okay, figure out a time. Whatever you want to do, figure out a time for that. But there's a lot of ways that you can kind of manipulate your schedule to fit both things in at once. So like for me, when I listen to sermons at lunch, that is a beautiful time for me to be able to do that, because I'm not wasting time. Not that listening to a sermon would ever be wasting time, but I'm not solely just taking time out away from like work or something like that to do that. I'm eating, replenishing my body, and on the spiritual side, filling me spiritually. And so, and it's something that I do every single day, and it takes its effect. So dedicate for whatever your goals are. Figure out what's most important to you. You then look at the time in the week. Say, how much time am I going to dedicate to this area of my life? Does it overlap with any of my other goals too? Can I plug both in at the same time to where it doubly counts? And the reason why this is so important to think like this for how to spend your time is because you got to realize the person who earns $20,000 a year and the person who earns $200 million a year, or $2 billion or $200 billion, whatever, not quite $200 billion, no one's there yet. But the reason why people can earn such vast, differences and they all got the same amount of time is because where they put their time. And that's what you got to figure out. Figure out what's most important to you. Because some people, it's like business is so important and I'm going to live, eat, and breathe and die on this thing. And they have all the money in the world, but they're not happy. Okay? Their social life is awful. And then you're like, oh, wow, this isn't the point of life. And you have other people who are like, no, this is the only thing that matters is friends and all this stuff. And they can't really live well because they're not there. And so here's the thing that you have to realize, and I had to realize this for me. I put way too much emphasis on learning and personal development that it cost me a lot, like my opportunity cost, for those of you who are familiar with that. I did this one time, and I may do this in a video one time too. My opportunity cost over the past 18 months was $361,000. Yeah, I know. I kind of had the same reaction. Over 18 months, and I estimated conservatively. That was after I sold my lawn business until up about 2 months ago. Because I had to get real with myself. I was like, I looked at where I was at and I was like, something ain't right here. Even if your philosophies are good, but it means you're going to lack in another area that would cause a hindrance to your well-being and living situation, you have to change things up. It would just be illogical not to. And so I was like, wow, I got to start calling people. I got to start messaging people. I got to start, putting in the actual work. I've learned a lot. But remember when I said that I had a realization, oh, who am I teaching this to? Have I done anything about it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was in that night. And look, that night took about 3 hours to do that. Because here's the thing. You're not going to actually get going on things that matter to you until it's emotional. That's just a fact. You will burn out or just not want to do it anymore if it's purely a logical decision. So even though it felt inefficient, I had to get real with myself and say, why am I not further on these things? Why am I not anywhere even close to where I want to be on any of these things? And I sat and thought, wrote, oh, there's something, wrote it down. Oh, there's another thing, wrote it down. And you just look at the hard facts. Look, there's nothing better than the hard facts. There's nothing better than looking at the results in your life. Your results won't lie. That's the thing. Any area of your life, you say, oh, I'm working so hard, I'm working so hard, I'm working so hard. Results don't lie. They just don't. Do we have misfortunes in life? 100% absolutely, and I'm sympathetic to that. But numbers don't lie. And that's the thing. Some people can take criticism, some people can't. It's one of those things that you just got to get real with yourself, because the person you can't lie to, or you can, but you'll know you're lying, so it's kind of pointless, is the man in the mirror. You just can't. You can't trick that person. You may be for a little bit, but life won't let you. Life just won't let you. It's just how it works. So you either adjust and figure some other things out and dedicate the proper amount of time, or, life kind of swallows you up and you play its game instead of it playing your game. So I just realized I could probably go 30 to 40 minutes on this, but that's where I'll end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if you guys want more on this, because I could definitely go long on this. I could definitely take it some other routes, as you have noticed. But yeah, so let me know if this was helpful for how to spend your time. Again, remember, optimize. Well, know the most important thing. Create the categories in your life, what you find important. List them out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Optimize for that. Take the amount of time that you sleep, subtract it from 168, and then allot the amount of time, and then boom, 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 stick to it. I just had to recap that for you so you remember. But if you know someone who could use this video, feel free to send it to them. Like I said, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help. And then comment below, because I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this video as well. And as always, stay tuned until the next one, and I will see you guys later.